buddies, and welcome to another edition of 4.0 and Below, where the good, the fair, and the ugly comics roam. And today we got ourselves a contest entry for Schoon's Comics for his 200 subscribers. And the contest is he asked for 3 comics that were very important to you in a historical sense of how it got you kind of into the hobby of reading and collecting comic books. And this is kind of a late entry because I got 2 comics chosen right away, but the third was like, oh boy, I don't know what to do here. And then with my last batch, it finally hit me that we're going to start with issue number 147 of Avengers. Now, before this, my comic book buying habits were pretty sporadic, and it seemed to me like a lot of stories that I were reading were sort of self-contained, at least as I hit them. They had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that was it. This one I bought, and it ended on a cliffhanger. And so it kind of finally hit. It's like, oh, the story continues. And so you needed to get the next issue. And the rest, as they say, is history. Which kind of leads me to my next choice, which is ROM Space Knight, #1. And because this came out, I think, a couple years after that Avengers run, or Avengers comic. I bought the conclusion to the Crisis on Other Earth story, and I went back and I eventually got all the other ones, so I got the full story. But with ROM, bought the first issue, fell in love with the character, and fell in love with the character so much I stuck with it from issue 1 until the last issue, number 75. Stuck around even after the Wraith War ended. And this is actually my introduction to Steve Ditko too. And when he first kind of came on, I was like, ugh, this seemed kind of primitive, and it's like, what is he doing? But you kind of got to appreciate it, and you kind of understood what the guy was trying to do. And then from there, you kind of go back and read his Spider-Man and his Doctor Strange stuff, and it's like, holy crap. So ROM is great. Read it if you haven't read it yet. Which leads us to my third pick, which is The Incredible Hulk 149. Now, when I bought this, this was later, when I was buying a bunch of Hulk comics, trying to finish off the run, because that's how my OCD rolls. I bought it, it didn't ring any bells when I bought it, but when I got it home and I started reading it, and I realized, you know what? You've had this comic before, and apparently, judging by when it came out, this is one of the first comics I talked my dad into buying for me, because I remember him reading it to me when I was a little kid and following along, panel to panel, as the story, kind of like Superman and Doomsday, where the inheritor there was trapped in a satellite. Something happens, it crashes on Earth, he attacks the Gamma base, him and the Hulk fight, and you get into it, and he was part of the High Evolutionary's first batch, and apparently he used to be a cockroach. But great story, great Trimpe and Severin art. It's just wonderful. And so this is, this is, the third one was the tie. This is the first one, because like I said, I remember this is a replacement. The first one that I had, it's long gone. I couldn't tell you what happened to it. But, so that's the first part. And the second part is The Incredible Hulk number 209. Because this is the last comic my dad bought me before he unexpectedly passed away when I was 7 years old. And by then, I was reading the comic to him. And I thought that was kind of cool. So there you are, and there you go. That's my contest history. I'll have a link below to get to Schoon's site. So maybe you can get your entries in. Better hurry, because the contest ends on the 20th. It's a great channel. Great and affable host. The guy's hysterical. Love his attitude. It's great. Do it. So that'll do it for this episode of 4.0 and Below. And this is WB Kelso reminding you to never, ever be embarrassed about what you can afford comic book-wise. And until next time, we'll catch you later. See ya. Bye.